Hey y'all. Hello, and welcome to Sipping in the Sip. How's everybody doing today? I am Sabrina, your gracious host, and today we just picking up where we left off it with this R. Kelly, Milton Brown, and Derell McDavid Chicago federal trial going on. And last week I stopped off on day 5 because day 5 was Friday, August the 19th, which was my birthday. So I really did not care to get into R. Kelly on Friday. So I told y'all if something had happened outside of the cross, um, then I would come back and let y'all know what was up. You know, I would make it my business to tell y'all what was up and what was popping with that. So I'm going to do just that because a little something, something I guess you can say did expire on Friday the 19th, day 5 to be exact. But yeah, we gonna get into all of that. We most definitely gonna get into all of that. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into week 1, day 5, and then we're going to get into week 2, day 6, 7, and 8. And hopefully, ooh, hopefully that'll do us some good. So you know that I day 5 was Shonda or Shauna, whatever her name is, the star witness of the show, honey, the P video that was out in the early 2000s, about 2002ish. Um, she is still on the stand. We have come to find out that this is Sparkle's niece, the star of the prosecution's whole witnesses and all that good stuff. And she will be getting cross-examined on day 5. Remember, on day 4 when we left off, she had did her testimony where with the with the prosecution, and now she is now under the hands of the defense. Okay, so she is now in the hands of the defense, and the first who's going to be crossing will be Milton Brown's attorney. Uh, it's going to be Milton Brown's attorney that is crossing first, and Milton Brown's attorney is asking her if she knows that R. Kelly told Milton Brown to go with her to remove um, the tattoo, or did he say that R. Kelly just needed you to go take her to get a tattoo removed? Like he was pretty much asking, did you know if he specifically said it's gonna be a tattoo with R. Kelly name on it with the heart, or did he say just go with her so she can get this tattoo removed? Um, And pretty much the reason why he's asking her this is because Brown wants to be portrayed as if he was just the errand boy, kind of sort of like, pretty much you told me to go do it and I just did it. It wasn't like he trying to say like it wasn't no specifics or what have you involved. It's what he's trying to get them to the jury to be able to look at him as just this guy who in particularly just actually was doing what his boss was asking of him, because at this particular time he is Kale's assistant. So that's what he wants to be portrayed, that pretty much that he just was the little errand boy or whatever. um and I guess you could say like he kind of was to a certain extent, because you got to think about it. You are on the payroll of someone that wants you to do things that but I don't know if my morals or my integrity would allow me to literally work for someone who want me to do things that I know go against what I believe, or that my heart is like. I don't know if I could do that, but I can understand that he did that, because it's a fear of, okay, this is how I live my life, this is how I get paid. So that could be an instance, but that wasn't an everyday thing. You can't tell me you was this man assistant for this long and you never knew none of this. So you just was out here just going and stuff. So if he told you to walk into the den and there ain't nothing but lions in there, he don't say that there's lions in there, but you just walk in there, you're gonna be like, well, I was just going in there because he said that the thing was over there. I know I was gonna get ate up. Like it's not adding up pretty much. But if that's what you want, that's cool and fine. That you want these jurors to think of you as that is even more indignant. I feel that would make them really be like, yeah, he guilty, because you want them to show that you didn't have no fight about nothing. You just do whatever somebody tell you because there's a paycheck at the end of the rainbow now. And then he go into asking like the point in keeping Kale's secret for all this long, um so that they can continue, so that he can be able to continue to live a double life or what have you. And she pretty much like, yeah. So pretty much what he wanted to do was like just kind of clear the air of his client's name, as to like she really don't know if he knew exactly what he was doing or what he was supposed to do, as opposed to what she testified on Thursday of week 1. She had said that he was there when she got the tattoo removed, but she don't know what Kills actually told him, whether it was the tattoo with his name on it that she's getting removed, or was it just a tattoo that was getting removed. So it kind of just like imbalanced her testimony. Not saying that he wasn't involved with any type of tattooing. The point is that it just wasn't specifically knowing that it was because it was a tattoo of Kills. Pretty much what it is. Now we got the second people to cross. Is going to be Kale's attorney. And of course, she's coming in with the fire off the rip. Okay. She instantly like, so you did have a sexual relationship with my client Kales as an adult, correct? She says yes. In 2002, you had learned that someone had leaked the tape. She says yes. And the person who leaked the tape is Sparkle, which is her aunt. Okay. And she is like, that's her understanding. Yes. You also knew that he had issues with math, reading, writing, and all this other stuff. So you do know that he ended up having to delegate people like McDavid to do certain jobs, correct? Yes. Okay. Miss Lady is not finna play with these folks. Then she began to show the Kel's attorney began to show the courtroom text messages between her and Kel's between like maybe 2018, 2019. You know, she's showing this to the courtroom or what have you. And this is also time 2018, 2019 is also closer to the time of the premiering of the Surviving Kills, and she was just reaching out to Kells, you know, to check in on his well-being. Don't let the devil get you down, this, that, and the third, rah, rah, rah. And to let him know that her grandmother had passed and to call and check in on her mom's. Because of the simple fact that, you know, her mom had passed, and he was like he would. He also told her to just send him the number. And at the same time, he was also in these text messages, we learned that he was also invited to her 34th birthday party back in 2018 as well. We found out that Kells had a close relationship with the mom and the dad, even after the 2002 tape leaking, and the fact that he did let them know that he was fucking they darn daughter. And this was also after the tattoo. And after even let you know that their relationship was close, the daddy still did music. Like I think he was on like a 2011 album. Like he still was doing in the background, helping Kells with music in some type of form or fashion. So, you know, and then you got the mom who's always keeping in touch as well. So it's kind of like, did you really feel this way about this man and your child, or did you not feel this way about this man and your child? Because it's kind of odd. It's awkward. It's weird, because I don't think I could be cool with somebody. No, okay, like at that moment, okay, yeah, I want to do what's best for my daughter. I don't want to lose my daughter. So yeah, I might rock with her for that moment. The moment you get a chance to pull that away, like within that next year, like when you go you ain't going over there one of these days, but she hadn't already moved in and all that stuff. So that's a whole nother here nor there. But I'm just saying, I don't think I could be, I couldn't be bought for my child. No, I just could. First of all, my child would have never been in that predicament, because I don't give a darn. I don't care what type of music you doing. I don't give a damn none of that. You ain't finna go be up with no man. I don't give a darn what it is, unless it's always one of your parents there. That's just that. That's just me being as real as I can about that. But it's just weird that they kept in good relationship with him after the fact of them finding out all these stuff. We also found out that Rashana Kells and his ex-wife Drea, who was on Hollywood Exes as well, and on Surviving Kills, and also she was on Growing Up Hip Hop for a little minute or two as well. But we found out that Shauna Kells and Drea had been having threesomes, honey, been living in the house, all this stuff, all the way up to like to they divorce and everything. And after, like, they had a relationship, a threesome, a throuple. I think that's what they call it, a throuple, literally. So then that pretty much sums up what Kel's attorney got going on. But now you got the redirect from prosecution. And because Kel's attorney was trying to make it seem like that the former prosecutor and Rashana had some form of relationship going on. because she had sent them a picture while she was pregnant, you know, because they had seen in such a long life. And plus she was also getting her testimony and stuff together, you know, for grand jury back in Chicago, back I want to say like 2019. So they was kind of, you know, getting that parts together or whatever. And so because she sent a picture of her being pregnant, some way, somehow she was trying to make the jury in the courtroom believe that Rashana and this the old prosecutor had some type of something going on. So the very first thing that the prosecution does as soon as they get up is to clear up instantly about the former prosecutor and Shauna having some form of relationship. She also cleared that up. I guess not only that, but she also cleared up the lies that also went on along with this prosecutor from like 2002 to 2008, because Kel's attorney really was throwing this previous prosecutor up a lot during her cross with Rashana or what have you. So now we have cross coming in from Darryl McDavid's attorney, and pretty much what McDarrell's attorney is doing is portraying him as like he was kept out of the loop just as much as the world was, because of a response that Rashana had gave that he had wanted her to keep the secret away from the world, and he tried to make it seem as if he was a part of the world, and that's why he didn't know about this grave secret all of a sudden either, because he a part of the world, so he didn't know nothing about it. And then to also clear up that she do not know, pretty much the same thing that Brown attorney want to do, that she do not know what is being said when she's not around. And she pretty much says yes to that or what have you. And because that he wanted you to keep this secret away from the world, since that would mean that my client would have been part of the world or what have you. So that's pretty much what's the point that what's his name? McDavid had wanted to prove that no one knows what happens, but all they did was took that statement of she wanted him to keep the secret away from the world and decided to run all the way to the bank and back with it. Hold on. Now we're going to okay. Okay, that's the end of Rashana. Rashana is now stepping down off of the what you call that thing? Ooh. She's stepping down here. Y'all know what the hell it is here. My mind a little boggled up a little tight. But she is coming down. But now we have ooh, I pull it down too quick. Now we have the witness for the sixth witness for the for the prosecution, but this is going to be the second witness of the day that is taking a stand. Okay. Here, SSI, special agent. It's a FBI special agent. Her name is Melissa Stifferman. So at this, and the courtroom today is going to see 3 video kid, tapes or what have you, that is have a lot to do with Rashonda Landfair. That is who was just on the stand. Sparkle's niece, and they're gonna see the P tape first. And this is where they get to see them both referring to this 14-year-old genitalias and behind genitalias. This is where they're going to be referring to that. So today they also got a chance to see these 3 videos on this Friday. Okay. So that's what they ended up seeing, was these videos for the testimony of the special agent Melissa. Then you have the 7th witness for prosecution, and this is the 3rd and final witness for today. This is the Custom Border Patrol agent Jonathan Seashee. And he just pretty much is there, and he is just testifying who was traveling to Mexico and the Bahamas with Rashana and her parents back in 2002. When they had that. Okay, in 2002 they ended up having a conversation after the DCFS ended up contacting Rashana's parents about that there's a tape out and that their daughter is in it and all this good stuff, but of course they deny. And then they went and had a meeting. The Rashana, the mom, the dad, they ended up having a meeting with McDavid and Kels. And that is when the father and Kels end up going into a room and having a conversation. She testified that her father then went into a room. They had a conversation. He came out upset and he said, yes, that's Kels and our daughter, that he's talking to his wife at this moment. And so Kel's solution was that they needed to go out of town for a while so that they could get away from press. But the whole time it was so that they wouldn't be able to talk to no police or anything like that. Let's just be honest. Okay. So that was that. So that is where he is testified that back in 2002, but 2002 when the tape came out, that Milton Brown was the chauffeur for them, because he went as well to Mexico and the Bahamas to keep watch on Rashana and her mom. That's where she also got that tattoo while they was out of town, all that good stuff. And Day5, Kel was in church, and Kels was in court. Just to be clear. Now we're going to move right on along to week 2. Okay, we're moving right on along to week 2, day 6. And we have the 8th witness for prosecution. The first of the day is the IRS agent, Jason. Okay. And this IRS agent, Jason, is being led through a series of records of financials and assets of Kells and one business of McDavid's, and it's pretty much that um Kells and McDavid did have friction before they had parted ways. You know what I'm saying? McDavid ended up he filed a lawsuit for unpaid wages or what have you, and the fact that he signed the NDA during his time with Kells is why he really pretty much had been keeping his mouth closed about any of the info that he obtained while he was with Kells. But he have still yet not opened up his mouth and did not get paid. So this is why he ended up filing a lawsuit against Kells. But I feel like what did you have to open up to? If you say you was kept out of the loop, at least that's what you telling the court, that you don't know too much or nothing, so you don't understand why they even got this indictment on you, because I'm confused. Like, what was you holding and you didn't say nothing because you was so kept out of the loop? And in 2014, Kells was supposed to pay you a $1 million settlement of $40,000 installments. And I think you got one payment, and then instantly, next thing you know, he immediately started falling behind. And as a manager, he said that his duties was to, pretty much hire and fire. He paid all the bills and receipts or what have you. So if you pay all the bills and receipts of everything, so that also means that you paid to get these sex tapes back. Pretty much, is that a yes or no question? Like, they need to ask him that, like, so you didn't pay to get the sex tapes back, but you saying you paid for every little thing that exists, or are we just all tripping? Is it us, or is this not it? Because if you're gonna say that this is your job description, but now in court, you pay everything but the hoes and kids and the tapes, the tape holders or whatever. And from 2006 to 2012, Shauna, from the records that they have shown in court, it had pretty much was saying that Rashana parents had got nearly $80,000 being paid out from Kells. The IRS agent ends up saying that it's not classified as a normal expense. Pretty much is what he's saying. So it's like it's not in water, lights, gas, rental, mortgage. Like, that's what he's saying. It's like it's not a classified offense as to why these people ended up getting almost $80,000 within this 6-year time frame. In 2008 to 2015, Rashana got settlement payments, but everyone pretty much is denying a formal settlement between the two, as to, like, we didn't sit down and say, oh well, you're gonna get this amount of whoop whoop. So nobody is saying that we never signed for no settlement or anything like that, but y'all just mysteriously keep coming up with money. He also ended up paying for the 3-week trip that they took, that he wanted them to go on, her and her parents, to the Bahamas and Mexico. All this was going out during the coming out of that sex tape. And then Rashana ended up getting a 2001 PT Cruiser for her 16th birthday, and a Yukon. She ended up getting a Yukon like around 24 years old when they finally split or whatever, and she moved out of the house with Kills. He gave her that Yukon. So it's like, why are you giving her the? I don't understand. But anyway, Milton Brown ended up receiving about $2.2 million, and he wants to be portrayed as a low level assistant, remember, and if that's a low level assistant, what do a high level assistant get? Like, because in 6 years, if you could get $2.2 million, because I don't even know no assistants that get paid six figures, period, a year, let alone in 6 years you get $2.2 million. I ain't never heard, but I just would like to know what a high level is, because I don't know. Maybe I'm doing the wrong job in my life. In April of 2017, he played. He paid blah 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 blah. He paid Brown $200,000, then $10,000, then it was $100,000 paid to Charles Freeman, a prosecution's witness, who was paid to recover sex tapes that the IRS agent ended up confirming what each chart and check, wire transfer. He was telling them everything what it meant on the screen or what have you. So then we have cross-examination, and this is by Kell's attorney first. And of course, she's always with the shit. So of course, she's with the shit at this moment. She's trying to play this IRS agent by saying that none of the checks were signed by Kells, but only by one of his employees. And of course, the IRS agent confirms. And that's pretty much all she wanted to do, was like pretty much let the courts know, like, my Kells might not even knew about none of this stuff. Like, he didn't sign for not one check ever. So we don't know. Duh, that's why you got management. You just asked that goal. Nah. You asked that goal. Did she know that he can't read, write, or nothing, and that he have to put people? So that's what I'm saying. This contradictions that's going on in this. Either he know how to read and write, and he know what the hell going on, or either he just dumb as hell and don't know shit. Nah, y'all gonna have to figure this out, because it's starting to irritate me. Okay, so this cross-examination that she is doing, she trying to let it be known that it was not Kells who signed any darn thing. But anyway, the IRS did confirm that no, he did not sign any checks. Now you got the cross-examination by by McDavid's attorney, and he is the second. He is the second to do the cross, anyways. And to me, I feel like his attorney ended up pretty much putting it out there like his client really do know more than he telling. Because he's saying that if McDavid would have ended up breaking the NDA, he would have owed Kells $100,000. So that means that your client knows something and was not kept in the loop. Like, I don't know if the defense is really understanding what they are doing at the same time, but it is very weird on you taking your client out of the situation, but then bringing your client back into the situation some way, somehow, in some form. And I don't know. Maybe y'all didn't as not catching these little smaller innuendos, but I am glad though that they own McDavid and Brown, because we already know that Kells is guilty. If you did not know that, let me just rewind the clock a little bit and let you know that 11 months ago, last year, Kells was on trial back in New York, and 7-8 weeks ago now, Kells also got sentenced to 30 years. That means he's guilty. Okay, he was found guilty, he was charged guilty, and then he has to do time guilty. So in case none of y'all know that, so we already know that Kells is guilty. So moving along, all my point has always been is he ain't the only one guilty. Like he deserved to be where he at. But I'm hoping that more and more people become on the stand with him as he goes through these different trials, because I think his next trial that's next is supposed to be Minnesota, and who knows what's after Minnesota, and da 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 da. Because so many different towns and cities that is got Kells by the balls. That's period point blank. So I am glad that they is holding Brown and McDavid to the fire, due to the fact that you were wrong. I don't care what you signed or how you signed it, because me personally, I just wouldn't be able to do that job no more. Then it wouldn't be no issue, and this wouldn't even be popping up right now, and I wouldn't be in here or getting indicted because I'm stupid. Okay. So at the end, it's like you just gotta own up to your bullshit. You was looking for that check, and so you did some dumb stuff. It's okay. But I just like that y'all have to stand accountable for it. I do not like the fact that the prosecution has given all these adults that was adults back then, um, what is it called? Immunity, to get away with the bullcrap, because they need to be charged too. I'm just saying, like, y'all letting them be able to get away with knowing that y'all was in on this elaborate scheme for y'all child or children's to be with Kells. Simple. But hey, I can't say anything. It's not my thing. So let's get on back into it. We got the ninth witness for the prosecution coming up. And this is Rashonda's mom, and she's going by Susan. But we're not going to say that around here. We're just going to call her Rashonda's mom or Sparkle's sister, because this is Sparkle's sister as well. So, and she ends up okay, and she ends up starting out, she pretty much giving you a little background history of, she's saying that her and her family, they owned a shoe store back in Oak Park, in Chicago, from like 2002 to 2010. And she got to know Kells through her sister Sparkle. But she also knew Kells because at this time he was a public figure. He making music. You knew of him. Even without Sparkle, you knew of him. So that is that. And so this is what she's saying before she even met Kells, in person or what have you. Like, she knew him from TV screens and all that good stuff. Then she goes on to say that she met Kells at her 14-year-old daughter's concert back then, and her Shauna ended up testifying that she had met Kells when she was like 12 at first during one of her concerts, because she used to have a group that she once used to be in. And then I think she said she was 12, and that Sparkle had started taking her to the studio a little bit, because she was helping her aunt with her music from time to time. And Then Sparkle and Kels kind of split for a while. So then he didn't come back into play until I want to say she was like 14. So I don't know, but I'm here to tell y'all the math ain't math. But anyway, she said at her 14-year-old daughter's concert, that's how she ended up actually meeting Kels. And 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 then she also met him again at the studio when she was supporting her sister at one point. And then she says that Rashana would go to the studio more and more, to work on her music. And then some way, somehow, Sparkle arranged for Kels to be her godfather. And the mom did say she felt that was strange because Sparkle told her daughter to ask him to take on such a role as that. And then she said she would frequently drop her daughter off to work on her music. And then she said in 2000, DCFX reached out to her about Kel sexing her daughter when she was 12. 12. Okay. 12. And they told her about the tape that they had got. And okay, and that her 14-year-old daughter was ended. How did they talk to you at 12 years old? Tell you that your 14-year-old daughter is in something. This math ain't adding up because, honey, she won 14 until 2002. And apparently in 2000, this tape was already made. So in all honesty, she was not 14 in that tape. She was 12. It's not adding up. How in 2000? In 2000, that would have made her what? 15. So we don't even know when exactly this tape was made. Okay. Listen, y'all. The math ain't adding up. I'm just saying. Okay, and then you got Shonda and her mom and her dad. They go to have a meeting with Kels at the hotel in Oak Park. Shonda mom said Kels never admitted to it being him in the tape. But he did just keep on saying he's sorry. And that he was going to send them out the country and make sure that they was good. But she don't remember if her daughter was at the meeting or not. But she do remember that McDavid was there. Now, yesterday, your daughter said that she was there. You were there. Your dad was there. Her dad and Kels went into the room and had a private conversation. Came out of the room. The dad came out of the room furious, and that he told you that it was him and your daughter and Kels in that videotape. And yes, he had been fucking your daughter. That's what your daughter testified that on yesterday. Today, you don't remember, but you do know McDavid was in the building. But you don't know if your daughter was there. Kels never admitted to anything. Y'all live in the same house or y'all around each other a whole lot more than anybody else that's gonna be on this stand. Y'all didn't get these testimonies together. Are y'all on purposely mixing up these things on purpose so that the real issue at hand with the extra-handed people, and then the fact that you got immunity and you with the shit, like this shit not fair. But why? What is the point in the mixed matching of these stories? Is what I want to know. Why are we mixed matching these stories? But that's not neither here nor there. But y'all just remember these stories ain't lining up. So now we got the mama who done lied her way through eternity. Her man must. I mean, I get that it was so long ago, but something as simple as you don't know if your daughter was there. You don't. Kels never admitted to anything. Like at no point do you want this man to have accountability. Like what was really going on? What was really going on? So up first, we have cross-examination uh by Kel's attorney. And y'all already know she 360 hot coming through the door. Okay. She instantly, you have to tell the truth about everything you say today. Yes. She gets into the fact that she has immunity instantly off the rip. Like you got immunity. Cause I'm telling y'all these like it was a blatant like girl, the facts that you decided to switch around was the dumbest facts to ever switch around. Like dumb. So she instantly get into the immunity. It instantly it's the first thing she go to. And then she also went into the fact that Kels was mentioned in her husband's obituary, who died last year, who was also supposed to testify. But he was such a horrible man, honey. He did y'all so wrong. But y'all had to put him in obituary. She put in obituary that's how he got his lift off was through Kels and his music. You know what I'm saying? And that was how he really got his really big break was through Kels. That's what was inside the obituary. Now, I don't understand why would you put him in your husband's obituary when you testified. You said that you lied because you were scared, intimidated, harassed, threatened, but not by Kels himself. So Kels didn't do none of this stuff to you. So you decided to go and lie to law enforcement. For what reason? Because Kels didn't tell you to go down there and lie. Because, like you said, he ain't the one who harassed, intimidated, scared you, or none of those things. Correct, huh? I just don't understand. So now you got cross-examination by McDavid's attorney. And McDavid's attorney is like, okay, you say you met with Kels, but you say he didn't admit to doing anything wrong. So he pretty much made her have to continue to lie. So he say, so Kels was upset because the fam was about to get slammed by media, not because he was guilty. Yes, the idea for the trip out of the country was to get you out of town to avoid the press. Yes. And you never had any type of issue with McDavid. No. Because she said McDavid was there during the meeting at the hotel, but she wasn't sure about the daughter. Okay. Now the daughter really went into more detail when she went into it, and she also gave more uh of the reactions of everybody that was in there as well. So that was that, and she pretty much is off the stand. He just pretty much wanted to clear up his client because you mentioned that he was a part of the meeting where Kels never tried to say any of these things. So just to keep his client out the clear, we're gonna make sure that Kels is out the clear at this moment too, because you said that he ain't did none of this. Right, right. Now we got Day 7 in the building. Kels is in court, you guys. And we have a prosecution witness on the stand. He's a lie detector administrator and a former Kansas City cop. And his name is Lawrence Berkland. And what he is saying is an attorney hired him back in August of 2001 to test a man to see if he made copies of the tape that that they told him to go on, to receive or to bring in was some tapes that they was calling performance tapes, which was all along sex tapes of children. But anyway, then R.Kelly's camp also told the administrator that the test subject would be receiving $200,000 if they actually passed. Um, uh, and that he did not know that Kels was actually the one. He said he told that he heard about that, but he also did not know that Kels was the main person behind this hiring. Um, but this was back then, like he didn't know that it was Kels, but today he's saying he knew it was Kels behind it the whole time. He also said prior to the light test that he was fired as a Kansas City cop. He was fired as a Kansas City cop because he had stolen a handgun out of evidence. And I just wonder, if he stole a handgun out of evidence, was it because you wanted to keep the handgun for yourself? Or did you take it out of the evidence because you was trying to save the actual perp who was behind it? You know, like, were you behind, like, whoever the handgun belonged to? Was it a murder weapon or something like that? Like, that's what I mean by, was he trying to, like, just move it away from them so that nobody wouldn't be able to find it? Like, either or. It don't really matter. I really would like to just know that it did to be. So now you have a prosecution witness who is another lie detector administrator, but he's an expert. And he's a former retired Missouri cop. Okay. And his name is Sean Herlock. And he was hired in 2001 by a private investigator, Jack Palladino, to administer the test on a man if he made copies of the tape. We found out he ended up meeting with 4 men for a poly test, 3 black men, 1 white man. The white man was the private investigator, Palladino, who is now deceased. Okay. And he was also supposed to testify as well. Like, they bring up a lot of people who have passed throughout this trial. I'm starting to see, so I can just tell y'all to get prepared for a lot of people who no longer are here to be all up and through this trial. The black man who is receiving this poly, he refused to give him a real name. So he ended up telling him to call him Showtime. And he did not remember whether or not he gave him the polygraph, the polygraph test or not, because he was refusing to get, he was refusing to give a real name. And then you telling him to call him Showtime. Like, it was so much other stuff going on. And then it's been so long. So, of course, he don't remember if he gave out the poly because he didn't want to sign it or what. But he did ended up writing on it that he would not sue the company who gave me the poly. And then you have the defense who ended up just objecting and was like, why is he here to speculate? You know what I'm saying? Because he don't have a document. He don't know if he signed. He don't know if he gave it. Like, he really pretty much here to speculate, and the judge pretty much agrees. And I mean, not the judge, but the administrator, he pretty much agrees with him. He also, like, it was so long ago, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He is retired and he ain't studying it. You hear me? So, prosecution has called a man who was grilled by the poly experts. His name is Charles Freeman, and this is AKA Showtime himself. He met Kells back in the early 90s when he was touring with Public Announcement with Derell. They became friends around mid 90s. He was a music merchandiser, so that means he sold like t-shirts, hats, different little things like from your favorite artists and whatever, etc. They get into the fact that he has immunity for his testimony on today, and it is just the weirdest thing to me that prosecution is letting everybody off with immunity. And I don't know if it's a big fish, little fish, small fish, white fish. I don't know what this is, but it is too many people that are too close to this story that are being able to testify and don't have to have any consequences for their actions or the part or the role that they played during this child craziness time. Like, that's the only thing for me. But anyway, it's just weird because I just feel like some of these folks really do need to be being charged. Is all I'm saying. Right along with the other person. He also had met Milton Brown in one of his at one of Kells tours between 93 to 96, but he is not sure of which tour it actually was. Okay, and him and Kells' brother also ended up getting into some type of little altercation over a jacket that Kale's brother thought that he had stolen from Kale, but he is in music merchandising, so he didn't steal the jacket, but he went to the designer himself and had them make him a replica of $3,500 jacket that Kels is wearing. So at this time, while Charles Freeman Showtime is on the stand, Kels is chuckled out. He is really enjoying this testimony. He whispering with his attorney and everything. In 2001, Charles Freeman was hired to hunt Kale's kitty tapes down. Derell McDavid said to him that it's a performance tape, but needed to find them. And if you find them, that we would take care of you. So he met up with McDavid and Palladino at a Kansas hotel. He was nervous because, from my understanding, private investigator Palladino was like, he was known to be a little ruthless and a little out there. So I can understand why he was a little nervous at that time. It's like a lot of people wanted to get up with my boy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted him to be their private investigator because he got the job done by any means necessary. So of course he was a tad bit nervous when they met up. A few days later, Palladino ended up telling him that if he can get the tapes back and prove that there are no copies, that they would get him the milli that he was asking for, So by the next meeting, Freeman, he ended up pulling out a contract like for the milli that y'all told me about, this, then the third. But McDavid and Palladino ended up getting into some type of little woo to woo. And so they didn't want to sign that $1 million like out front. So that didn't happen. And pretty much Palladino just didn't want to put that particular amount in writing. And then at another meeting, McDavid and Palladino offer a contract for $100K plus $40K in expenses, and also a promise to pay the milli if the tapes ended up coming back and that they are real. So Charles did sign that particular contract. And he also was told where the tapes were. So he ended up going to the house where the tapes were. And ended up retrieving 3 different tapes. And one of them was the particular tape. And so he ended up watching a couple of minutes. He goes to the store. He get 3 blank tapes. He made copies because he really didn't trust that Kels men would do, and Kels, Palladino, and McDavid would, they wouldn't end up paying the $1 million. You know what I'm saying? So he testifies about the two sex scenes that he did saw in that said tape with Kels and the young girl. He didn't turn the tape over to police because he was asked this, and he was like, I wouldn't turn the tapes over to the police because they wasn't trying to give me no milli either. You know what I'm saying? So I feel him on that. So he ended up going to Kelsey. He turned in the tape, which he ended up turning in, I believe, a copy of the tape and not the original. And so they tell him when he turned in the tape, like, okay, you'll get your money in a couple days. But then a couple days later, they are calling him, talking about, we know you got another tape. We know you got another tape. So they meet up again, And he have another tape, but he hiding it in the back of his pants. I don't know why some people are thinking like he just had it up his ass crack, which he didn't. In between his back and his butt cheeks, that mean he had it laying in his back, like it just laying in his back, because he couldn't put it in his pocket. A VHS tape is not little, so he couldn't put it in his pocket, and he didn't want to be walking around with it in his hand, so he kind of just placed it in his back here. People making it like he hiding tapes in his ass or some shit. It's so weird. Like, but that's what the tape was. So when they met up again, and then there was um and he was saying that when he got there, like it was another man there that he hadn't seen, a black dude, and he wanted them to know that he had a gun, so he get it off his hip and put it on the bed and all that good stuff like that. So they got piles of money, and he was like, "That ain't no $1 million or whatever, whatever." They said, "No, this is 200K, 150K for getting the tape and 50K for your expenses," is what they ended up telling him. So he thinking he got 200K, and because the way the mood of the room is, it's like, okay, whatever. Let me get on up out of here. Whatever it is what it is. And they pretty much just let him know you're gonna be getting installments yearly until Kells go to court, up until your $1 million is paid. So he ended up leaving, and he get to the elevator, and it wasn't nothing but $75,000. And the contract was originally for $140,000, so they was short anyway. Like they didn't honor the contract, nor did they under what the fuck they promised outright. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, they was gonna pay him $1 million, so 75 grand is what you ended up giving him. So in 2002, he decided to file a civil lawsuit against Kells and McDavid, and they ended up settling out of court, and they gave him 100K. In 2003, he reached out to McDavid. They met, and he ended up getting 100K. In 2003 and 2003, 2004, somewhere like that, he ended up being contracted by McDavid because it's another sex tape out there. Okay. Kells, Freeman and McDavid and Brown meet up in the Chi. He agreed to receive the tape for $1 million. Like y'all know my price. Quit playing with the kid. It's $1 million. So there's $1 million, and you ain't even paid the other $1 million yet. You know what I'm saying? So he hunt down the tape, and what ended up happening is he had went to one place for the tape. That place told him of another place where the tape was. The place where the tape was actually in the same building that he lived in. So he went to the place where the tape was, and dude showed him the tape, but he wasn't giving up the tape. So he took his phone and just recorded a little bit of the tape. And in 2005, he ended up getting another payment. In 2007, they missed the payment. They ended up having a meeting. Then later got a payment. Kells is about to go to trial, and Freeman don't have his $1 million, because he said by the time you go to trial, you should have your $1 million, right? So he don't have his $1 million. So he ended up threatening to have a press conference in the Chi, So he ended up calling all of the media, and he ready to spit it all. And Kells found out, and then he sent Brown to go hunt him down, get him on the phone. And then Brown get him the phone, and Kells is like, "Man, you gonna do me like this, man? I told you I was gonna get you the money, dog. I told you I got you, man." Because by this time, Kells, McDavid, they get him over to the crib, and then they telling him to strip down, bucket naked, to prove that he ain't got no wire. And he like, "I'm not doing none of that." And at that particular moment is when they agreed that he would have his $1 million. So this is what Kells is referring to in the phone. Like, man, I told you, you gonna get your money. You gonna do me like this, man, right now. I told you gonna get your money. Don't worry about it. And then Brown ended up giving him like 10K on good faith or good measures, just like we got you, we ain't forgot about you and all that good stuff. Cause he like, they watching me, man. I can't do this, that, and the third. So he ended up canceling the conference. After Kell's acquittal, he still don't pay this man. So now he reaches out to McDavid. And McDavid had told him that Kell said that the bank is closed. So in 2009, your boy go back and file a lawsuit, and Kells end up settling for $125K. He kept the tapes. Freeman ended up keeping these tapes all the way up until 2019. And they steady keep asking him, do he feel a certain way about keeping these tapes? He like, and why he didn't turn them in to the cops or whatever. And he steady keep telling y'all the same thing, because they ain't giving out no million, man. So by 2019, his lawyer reached out like, you're going to get in trouble for these tapes because somebody is telling him that you got these tapes. Da, da, da. So he ended up turning them into his lawyer back in 2019. And then in 2019, that's when the lawyer gave the tapes to the government or what have you like that. So by like 2012, he knew that he wasn't going to get his coins no more. So he kind of much was like, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? He gonna keep it under a wrap unless somebody question him about it. Then he's spilling it. It's simple, because you didn't pay me my money. You know what I'm saying? You ain't pay my money, so it is what it is. So that's gonna be pretty much it on that. Now we're into the last day that I have for you guys, and we are on day 8. You dig? We on day 8, and Kells is in court, y'all. And we still have the prosecution's witness, Charles Freeman. He is still on the stand. And Kells' lead attorney, Jennifer Bunjean. She had posted on Twitter on day 5 after court, which was August the 19th, my birthday, after court. And she was pretty much just thanking everybody for their support or what have you. And then she telling them how Kells appreciate all his fans and how he was in good spirits and excited to continue his fight. Then she ended up throwing shots at the prosecution, and she like, and and get ready for these prosecution for pulling these dirty tricks one after another. And so prosecution ended up motioning that Jennifer Bunjean need to stay off of social media, period, discussing the case. Like, why are you even on here saying anything about that? And they want her not to mention no more remarks or whatever. So she kind of knew where this was going. But Jennifer ended up offering not to post. And the judge like, all right, I'll accept that offer. Please do not post throughout the balance of the trial, meaning for the duration, do not post nothing at all. Don't even to post hi, hey, none of that. Don't do anything. Oh, okay. So mind you, this was day 6 of trial on the 24th when they decided to like that was like, because that was a Friday and it was after court. They couldn't address it until Monday, which is day 6 of trial, So they going into her off for the trial. So I'm letting you know that this, it wasn't like it just popped up, but this is what happened on day 6. And she ended up retweeting on August the 24th. She retweeted Dennis Byron's post with the caption that says, "I'm not allowed to tweet, but I think I can retweet." Just dumb. She trying to throw Kel's case too, trying to get it to be a mistrial by doing fuck shit. Like, I think keep prolonging it causes people to be that much stronger on it. Like, cause like now it's like they gonna keep doing more and more stuff. Like you trying to get the case dismissed by going on Twitter. And you know that these type of things, the jury gonna end up maybe hearing it in passing and pass around. You know what I'm saying? They going to lunch and somebody over here talking and they talking about you tweeting and stuff. Like, you know, even though they hoping that the jury is keeping up their end of the bargain by staying off of Twitter and all the social medias or watching news and all that good stuff during this trial. But Sister Girl know exactly what she doing. She on the buffoonery. But anyway, we're going to get into cross-examination first by McDavid's attorney, who had kept this man under his care for, I know, darn near 4 hours. But anyway. And so McDavid's attorney coming in with the shit. It's hard to trust. He telling him right now, it's hard to trust a liar. And Freeman is, you know, agreeing. And then he asks, have he lied about Kel's and all this other good stuff that has to do with these child stuff? And he said yes. And he asked him, had he lied under oath about videos linked to Kel's? And he said no. So he pretty much telling us like Buddy is lying, because I'm sure he's fixed to get it cut. Okay. So Buddy like, Freeman is pretty much saying, yes, I lie. I just don't lie on the oath, is what he trying to say, like, but not in court. And I'm just laughing out loud at the moment. I'm like, if he asked you that, he asked you for a reason. Like, nobody asked you nothing for nothing. So you should have really thought about the answer before you answer. But if you didn't, that's fine too. Thank you for saying that you pretty much tell lies everywhere but in the courthouse, because they finna prove you wrong. So instantly, the attorney is bringing up the 2019 statements. The 2019 statements where he is saying that Lisa had told him the man's full name, where the tapes was located. During his testimony, he said McDavid told him who had the tapes. And I guess that's his way of saying, yeah, he lied on the oath. And let's be very clear. He has frustrated the hell out of McDavid's attorney, okay? That you know he was being frustrated because he done bust out and asked this man. He said, is this funny and is you having a good time? Freeman said, absolutely. And then he goes on to ask him, is he bothered by holding on to these kids' tapes for over 20 years? And he said no. He then started going over the inconsistencies from 2019 grand jury statement until now. And then he goes into a thing about Freeman's previous attorney, being locked up, and his name is Michael Abernathy, for doing dirty deeds. And all that good stuff. But he did all of that uh to just let that be known that your lawyer is in jail right now because of things that you all keep doing around and behind the scenes. Okay, let's just get that out there. And they really just went back and forth, and with the pettiness and the is you the you must be what did he tell him? You must can't hear, no, you must can't read, so they were really going back and forth, and they literally took up dang near 4 hours between McDavid's attorney and Charles Freeman, aka Showtime Honey. But now we're gonna get into the cross-examination of Kel's attorney. And y'all know she come out with it. You and the government have gone through your story multiple times, and they don't even care if you get it straight, do they? Argumentative, so instantly some hey, argumentative. So she gets sustained. So she have to keep on moving. And then she ended up going into his ex-jail attorney, Michael Abernathy, on whether he was present when he went before the Cook County grand jury back in 2019. And he went into a rant, and she was just like, I ain't going through all that. I ain't going through none of that. Nope, 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 nope. I ain't doing that. It was a yes or no question. Why would you need so many uh, immunity deals? She told him she don't understand why he needs so many um immunity deals if he was such a law-abiding citizen. Objection, and she got sustained again. And then she just went on and was like, he has immunity in many jurisdictions for many crimes: child porn, extortion, soliciting, bribes. It would take her so long to get through them all. And the darn jury, it done bust out laughing, honey. Okay. Okay. Before your lawyer went to prison, did he secure immunity in Missouri for you? She tried to paint him as a thief because of the replica jacket that Kel's brother and Freeman ended up being into it about over time. So she was calling him a thief. Uh, she tried to really paint him, you know, as a thief, all because of that jacket, that with the $3,500 jacket that they thought he stole, but he did not. So he denies it. And then she go into the inconsistencies of 2019 and now. Freeman Freeman ended up asking her at one point, like, are you calling me a liar? And she said, yes, I'm calling you a liar, a thief, and an extortionist. And he like, you calling me a liar? And if I was an extortioner, you should have called the police and got me arrested, but you didn't. I'm clearly not an extortionist. She like, I have no idea what he's talking about. Judge said, can we finish this up, honey? He tied too. Can we finish this up? Can we move right on the hell along? Okay. Then you got cross-examination by Milton Brown attorney. Because Freeman ended up testifying that he had sued all three defendants back in 2019. So Brown's attorney ended up pulling up the suit from 2019, and it was only Kells and McDavid. So he just wanted to pretty much clear his client name, as in, you didn't sue my client. Correct. End of story. Bye. That's it. So then we had to redirect from the prosecutor, and the prosecutor instantly had to show Freeman's documentation that ended up saying that his prior under oath statements are intended as summary, not the complete story. And if questioned further, he can provide more information. Defense wants to know why the inconsistencies in the trial testimony and your federal grand jury statement about what was in the room when you were shown a certain tape. Freeman ended up responding, it's many things. I'm trying to remember the events that actually happened. I remember seeing the tape. And he also responds under redirect that it was McDavid and Palladino who hired him on behalf of Kells. McDavid is the one who paid him. So we needed to get that clear on the redirect. And you guys, that would do it for week 1, day 5, week 2, day 6, 7, and 8. And I'll get with you ladies and gents a little bit later on, maybe even tomorrow, but it won't be for this particular video of the Kells situation. But it will be, most definitely, I will be keeping in touch with you guys. And you all have a great day. I need you guys to sip on that and make it make sense. Until next time.